And now let's turn our attention to Kenya, like King Charles III of Britain has. The monarch is on a 4-day state visit to Kenya. It's his first visit to a former colony after his ascension to the throne. The trip should be, or could be, a bit uncomfortable for him because of the dark history of British rule in Kenya. We'll get to that in a moment, but first, let's tell you what happened today. Charles arrived in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, last night. Today, he was given a ceremonial welcome by Kenyan President William Ruto. A red carpet was laid out. There was a 21-gun salute. All the signs of a colonial hangover seemed to be there. But then came the reminder of the legacy of British colonialism. Charles laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown warrior. It is a memorial to honor those who lost their lives in the quest for freedom. Freedom from the British Empire. The memorial stands at the place where Kenya declared independence. So Charles laying a wreath there has great symbolic value. But is that where he will stop? At mere symbolism? Charles is expected to do more. Buckingham Palace says he will try, and I'm quoting, try to deepen his understanding of how Britain mistreated Kenya. He will also address the quote-unquote painful aspects of the UK-Kenya relationship during this trip. That's how Buckingham Palace worded it, painful aspects. Quite the understatement. Brutal, bloody or barbaric seem more accurate. Painful is a very mild description of British colonialism. Kenya gained independence from the British in 1963. It came after years of struggle. The worst period was between 1952 and 1960. It is known as the Mau Mau Rebellion or the Kenyan Emergency. The rebellion years saw about 90,000 Kenyans executed, tortured or maimed. That's according to the Kenyan Human Rights Commission. Britain, of course, refutes that number, despite being shown evidence.
Kenya Human Rights Commission has responded to that need by providing a detailed description of all the atrocities, of all the injustices to do with land, and many other things. Now that he has that from us, we would like him now to come back and saying, well, I've got much more deeper understanding than I expected, and we are demanding an apology. Kenyan people.
Surprisingly, the UK has acknowledged some of the torture and murder. In 2013, the UK paid about $24 million to some 5,000 survivors. Not out of the goodness of their hearts, of course. The Kenyans sued the UK and won that case. But it was a step towards reconciliation. Charles is expected to make more amends during this visit.
In fact, we don't request. In fact, we have to demand a public apology from the government of British because of the atrocities they meted on our people. The first one is an apology. After the apologies, we also expect a reparation.
So how far will Charles go to heal the wounds of the past? He's seen as more open to admitting fault than his predecessors. But will he come out and apologize? Will he endorse reparations? Or will this trip just be a PR exercise for the new king? The next few days should be telling.